everyone. This is Naureen. I am the founder of Inspiring Women in Hospitality. It's a podcast series where I'm interviewing women from all across the world to share their stories and their career journeys in hospitality. And today I've been invited by Inspiring Women in Travel Asia to host and moderate the start of a roundtable series that we're doing with the women that I have on my panel today. And we'll be going into a few more details about it. And to kick us off, I will start with introductions before we talk a little bit more about Inspiring Women in Travel Asia. So if I can start with you, Michaela, to introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Michaela Connor, and I am the Regional People and Culture Leader for North Asia for a DMC called Discover, and honored to be one of the committee members for IWTA.
Amazing. Thank you, Michaela. Sunny.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sunny Liu. I'm the president of HSMI Thailand chapter, and I'm also the board member of IWTA. Nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Sunny. Joanna.
Hello, hi guys. My name is Joanna. I am the Chief Operating Officer and one of the directors at Move Ahead Media, and also a member of the IWTA committee.
Thank you, Joanna. So to start us off, can you please tell us who and what is IWTA? So Michaela, if I can ask you to do the introductions.
Sure. IWTA is a COVID baby, came out of COVID, where all these amazing stories from women across traveling in Asia, kept hearing about these amazing stories and thought, there's got to be more to this than just one person hearing it. And how can we share these stories that helps inspire and empower other women in Travel Asia, whether they may be starting their career, maybe they're studying travel at the moment, or maybe they've been in their career in travel for a long time. And obviously we're going through a very tough time with COVID, and some borders at the time were still shut across Asia. So needed a media platform to be able to deliver these amazing interviews from these inspiring speakers. And that's where Travel Daily came in and provided that. So that was July 2021. It's gone so fast, it's crazy. And our first interview published on the 6th of September in 2021. So it's gone fast, and we've had so many amazing stories through from all walks of life across travel in Asia. So it's been amazing.
And Joanna, what was your reason to be part of IWTA? I mean, it is basically you're volunteering your time on top of your responsibilities that you may have at, personal and professional life. Why did you join, agree to be a part of IWTA?
I got forced to. No, I just thought, look, I've been in the travel tourism industry for 20 years, and I've got experience in business in 20 years. And a lot of my early career was very much based in travel tourism and hospitality. And I recognized at an early stage how important mentoring was. And it was very rare to see, there's a lot of women in the travel industry, but it's very rare to see, particularly back in the day, women really stand up and have a voice. So I jumped at the chance because it's one of the things that I like to do, ISR, industry social responsibility, and really guide the next generation of emerging leaders, particularly in the travel tourism space. Huge amount of women are in travel tourism, so when Michaela founded IWTA, I just really loved the concept of inspiring others, sharing stories. It just resonated with me. And I just really, as Michaela said, I wanted to help shine a light on the amazing women in the industry, and the men who support it and champion it.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Joanna. And yes, so many of those reasons that you shared, I share with you as well, like making a difference, sharing the story, mentoring, shining the light. Yeah, there's a lot that we can all do together. And Sunny, what about you? What was your reasons for being part of IWTA?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm actually joined a little bit later than Michaela and Joanna. I think, this is not a beautiful slogan you're talking about is International Women's Day. It's really a vehicle, and there's a lot of effort we put behind it. We produce those real life stories and to share with everyone what are actually the stories behind it. Someone can look very successful, really like Gloria, but then actually all the stories behind it, all the hard works, all the ups and downs they went through. And to basically let everyone know you are not alone, it's a journey together. So I would love to be a part of this journey to really empower everyone, use what we have, the resources, and use all those real life stories.
Yeah, I think that's the greatest concept about IWTA is that every story has a journey, and that we can go through that journey and share those stories and just go, wow, how did she become a tech entrepreneur? How did she do, that CSR initiative? How did she, grow her travel business? It's just amazing, some of these stories that are coming out. And I think that's just kind of a shared common goal. And it's this amazing movement that's growing. And Michaela, Michaela does a lot of the stories, but it's just really, really incredibly inspirational to just watch how women have just soared throughout this period. And it's really good to see those stories and those journeys.
Completely agree. I love that, what you said about the story, like how did they get to where they got to? Because oftentimes, you don't know what happened, what they had to go through to get to whatever position that they're in today. And you're absolutely right. Everyone has that individual journey that they're on, but there will always be something in there that will resonate with you or that will connect with you. And like you said, Sunny, that you're not alone. I'm in this together, and knowing that you're not the only one is incredibly powerful, because then you feel like you're part of a wider network or community, and you feel like, okay, I don't have to do this struggling by myself. I'm not the only one. So thank you for sharing that, Sunny. I completely agree. Michaela, since you've been doing a lot of them, what have you learned or gained? Like, are there any common threads that you've picked up throughout these stories that you've been sharing?
Such a good question, because every story I take something away from me that I learn from that person. But I think the common theme that I've seen is that these women, from when they first started, doesn't say it hasn't been tough or challenging, but they haven't let someone tell them who they should be. They have stayed authentic and true to themselves, and they've had mentors and sponsors encouraging them to show up as their authentic selves, and encouraging them to use their strengths and enhance those strengths that they have. And that has been a very common theme with these interviews that they've had, since they first started their career. They've had some really strong mentors and sponsors that's helped them. You have people around you that sees things in you that you don't even see, or or believes in you when you stop believing in yourself. And that's the support network that I see that these women have chosen to help them get to where they are today. And another thread that I absolutely love is that they pay it forward. They can look back now, whether that was a year ago, 2 years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, all these things that's helped them. They have that giving nature that they also want to pay it forward to that younger generation. So they are now some of them mentors and sponsors to help the younger generation get there. So, if you want to sit at the table, you're going to have to grab it. Don't wait for it to come. Just go and get it. Show them that you deserve to have that seat. So that's another resilience has come through a lot as well. It's staying resilient. When things get really tough, just work through it. Don't give up. Yeah.
I love what you said about that younger generation. I, in fact, just today had lunch with this committee called Young Hotelier Leaders or something of that sort. I need to get the full name. And these 6 young people in the industry, right, men and women, have come together to form a committee to help build future talent, right? And they're looking for mentors and leaders to help support them. So the more that we can share the stories and the more that we can come together and, like you're saying, pay it forward, is going to be incredibly important to make sure that we continue to inspire the next generation of leaders and encourage people to see, travel, tourism, hospitality as a desirable industry to be in. and making sure that we can showcase that you can have such a rewarding and fulfilling and long-term career in it as well. What else would you like to see for women in travel and tourism? Like, what changes have you seen, or what changes would you like to continue to see happen? And Joanna, let's come to you first for that question.
Well, there's been so many significant changes in the travel industry in terms of gender equality, you know, opportunities for women. There's a huge gender pay gap that's now kind of getting smaller and smaller, hopefully. So I guess the opportunities that I'd like to see for women are just this kind of stuff that we're doing. We're shining a light, being more visible, having a seat at the table, as Michaela said, having equal access to those leadership positions and opportunities for advancement, fair compensation, you know, where we don't have to have imposter syndrome continuously and having to second guess ourselves as women.
Sunny, what are your thoughts? What changes have we seen for women in travel and hospitality, and what would you still like to see?
To be honest, I'm very positive about the trend, the change, right? So we're from hotel industry. So as you probably can see, there are more and more female GMs, and then you actually, even there's a certain groups that even have the diversity ratio as one of their KPI to really encourage the female leadership to come through. So I think that is a very, very positive thing. I guess the realization is there, and then the actions is also there. It's just the amount of time to really see a bigger percentage of female leaders are actually in front of the scene. I think at the moment it's probably a lot of behind the scene, and then you're slowly to seeing like female GMs and female like operation leaders. But I do believe this ratio will become bigger and bigger. And not only men, women. I think for our industry, we're talking about like 26 or 24 pronouns, right? So it's really about the inclusion for every gender. I do think for hospitality industry, we are the pioneer for that. So I'm actually very happy about the trend. And then obviously with the organization like IWTA, we're going to making sure that voice is got heard by more and more people.
Completely agree. And, you know, I think one thing that I'm taking away from this conversation is shining the light. You know, that's what we're all doing as individuals, to shine the light on those stories and to get heard, you know, through what you're doing. But I think it's important that as individuals within our organizations, make sure that we're shining the light on, you know, those other individuals within your team, within your company, you know, cross-departmentally, you know, how can you be a sponsor, an advocate, a mentor for other people within your organization? Yes, of course, through Travel Daily, we can shine the light throughout the industry. How do we make sure that that carries forward and continues into each and every organization? And I think one thing that you said earlier, Michaela, is one of the threads that you picked up is taking that chance as well, going for it, you know, take that seat at the table. You know, what other changes do we need to see happen for that to happen, right? To see more, you know, different faces at the table, making sure that we are taking those opportunities as well.
It comes back from all the way from recruitment, right? That when we recruit for roles, what kind of applicants are we getting? Are we only getting male applicants? Why are we only getting male applicants? And likewise, why are we only getting female applicants? So it's ensuring that we're focusing on, when we're hiring talent, to have a diverse pool of talent to pull from. And that comes with wording, pictures. There's a lot of psychology around recruitment and advertising, really, to hire the right talent. But then also within the company is providing a pathway for everyone. It's going to be amazing that the future is about the human. It's about the human in front of you, their skill set, their knowledge, their whatever, you know, background or studies that they've done, nothing to do with religion or, you know, age, obviously legal age, but, you know, age, or if they're a female or a man, or if they're a mother or a father, doesn't matter. It's looking at the human in front of you and hiring based on merits. who's the best person for this job, and offering the same salary for whoever that person is because of the job and their skill set, not because of gender.
It's representation matters. I mean, I just saw the Oscars with Michelle Yeoh, and she was just saying, you don't see people like me winning this kind of award with the Oscars. And I just thought, wow, you know, first Asian woman winning a Best Actress. And that's where representation matters, you know, where you have the LGBTQI community, where you have women, where you have men, where you have humans, you know, just representation, black, white, whatever, you know, it's that representation where people who are coming up, the juniors, the young, the youth, the emerging leaders, they see someone that looks like me and can be in a C-suite position or owning a business. You know, I think that matters, and I think we do have a long way to go. But I think that representation, that key element of having someone to look up to, or you know, or you're finding the same people, and you're creating a culture of inclusivity. I think that's going to be the difference coming up in the years to come.
100%. And I have 2 daughters, and I know other committee members have children, daughters and boys. And I just think about what we do now today, and what we fight for the right stuff, focusing on the right stuff that's really going to make a difference and change in the future. Maybe it will take 30 years, I don't know, but I want the world to be better for them.
Yeah.
I do agree it's a long journey. I think, you know, for this journey, it's not only the external journey. There are a lot, it's actually internal journeys, right?
Yes,
so like
yeah.
as a woman, what we got taught since we were young, we need to be nice, we need to be this and that. I like to actually share a fact. I went to Canal in 2018, right before this pandemic things. They actually, like the topic was actually about women leadership. They shared a really well fact. Who do you think negotiate better, women or men? So yeah, maybe you can answer me. What do you think?
I think the men.
The answer is actually men negotiate better when they negotiate for themselves. And then women actually negotiate much better when they negotiate for other people.
Oh, I love that.
So this is actually all the fact that they did all this research together. That is actually back to Miguela's question about like better salaries. You know, maybe I'm just talking about maybe the system is actually quite fair. Men and women actually they willing to pay the same salary, but women probably get a salary. Okay, I accept it. I feel bad to actually go back to negotiate. And the men basically they just go back to negotiate it, because we all basically with the education, with the environment, we got taught as a woman you need to be nice, you need to be sweet, you know. So we not actually always go back to bargain and to negotiate. So yeah, I think a lot of things is also inside out. I really looking forward for a long journey. Same for my daughter when she growing up. And the environment will change not only externally, but also internally.
All right. So I think you've all mentioned some great things in terms of, you know, what we hope to see in terms of the future. So to close out the session, I'm going to ask each of you, what is the future for IWTA and what role are you as individuals going to be playing in that for the industry? And Sunny, let's stay with you and you can go first.
Well, you know, as we know, IWTA, we are continually building the content to really share different journeys, different stories. I think that is definitely a direction we are going. And then we're also organizing our first award night, which is coming very soon. I think with all of the board members' support and also our sponsors and partnerships, we really hope we're going to stay as a pioneer of this topic and ongoing on that direction. And obviously, I would love to get involved and support where I'm suited and fit in. Yeah.
Thank you, Sunny. Joanna.
Really wanted to, you know, highlight our event coming up in June. It's instead of just shining a light on these stories, it's celebrating these women. And, you know, we get to rock up and dress up and really celebrate one another and celebrate IWTA. But yeah, I just hope that we can continue to advocate for gender equality, and obviously the industry, the women in the industry, the men in the industry who's championing the women in the industry. Yeah, so I guess the nub of it, I just hope to create meaningful change that will allow it to be a ripple effect for future generations.
Thank you so much. And Michaela, will end with you.
Tough to follow. Oh, dreams are free, right? Dreams are free. I honestly, when the first thought of this came about, I can't believe we're sitting here today having a roundtable discussion. So only in 18 months is beyond expectations or beliefs. You know, sometimes you have these thoughts and you just know it's the right thing to do, but you have no end goal. It's just the right thing to do right now, here and then, and I know it can make a difference. And I personally think IWTA can continue to make a difference, and we can involve with interviews like roundtables, like today. We haven't done that before. Interviewing male champions, because these interviews has highlighted that a lot of these mentors and sponsors have not just been women. There have been a lot of male champions in here that's helped these women with their voice, finding their promotion, giving them opportunities, challenging them when they thought this was not possible, and they like, you can do this, and that's helped them to where they are today. So there's a lot more we can do with the interview space for sure to involve on who we have, making sure it's a diverse pool of people that we have on board as well when we're interviewing. And of course, shameless plug for the awards coming up on the 24th of June at the Montien in Bangkok, which is very exciting that we'll come to that. So watch this space.
Thank you, Michaela, Sunny, and Joanna. You are three inspirational female leaders in the industry, and I know you are inspiring many others along the way, and will continue to raise and shine the light on so many women and men in the industry as we go throughout our careers. And it's been a real honor to be your host and moderator for your first roundtable for IWTA. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.